This video is about the waiter was mocked until a billionaire hugged her son. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The sun struggled to peek through the morning clouds over the little town of Willow Creek, where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air and the chirping of birds danced in rhythm with the soft rustle of leaves. Among the quaint cafes and local shops stood a small diner called Mom's Place. It was a haven for the locals, where laughter mingled with the clattering of plates and the smells of home-cooked meals wafted through the open door. At the corner table, a single mom named Sarah wiped away the remnants of last night's tears. The weight of the world pressed down on her slender shoulders as she stared at her reflection in her coffee cup. Her son, Liam, just 10 years old, sat across from her, a plate of pancakes and syrup in front of him. His big, brown eyes sparkled with an innocence that brought a flicker of warmth to Sarah's heart. "Mom, can we go to the park today?" Liam asked, his voice full of hope. "I want to play on the swings." Sarah forced a smile, the worry in her heart tugging at her lips. "We'll see, honey. Let us finish breakfast first." Liam nodded, oblivious to the depths of his mother's fatigue. He had become accustomed to the ebb and flow of their lives, the routines that sometimes felt monotonous but were punctuated by moments of joy. That day, however, was different. As they finished their meal, a group of well-dressed diners entered the diner. They were chatting loudly, their laughter echoing off the walls. Sarah recognized them. They were regulars, often stopping by after a weekend retreat at the nearby luxury resort. She tried to ignore them as they settled at the booth next to hers, but their conversation soon shifted to the familiar topic of wealth and success. "Can you believe those waiters? All they do is serve us," one man scoffed, his voice dripping with condescension. "They should be grateful we even take the time to tip them." Sarah's heart sank. She wished she could shield Liam from such cruelty, but the world was harsh, and there was no escaping it. She glanced at her son, who was lost in his thoughts, his fork idly picking at the last remnants of his pancakes. "Mom," Liam suddenly said, his voice breaking through her reverie. "Why do some people think they read better than others?" Sarah took a deep breath, knowing this was a moment where she had to instill courage and kindness in him. "Sometimes people forget that everyone has their struggles. It is important to treat everyone with respect, no matter what their job is." "Like you?" he asked, curiosity in his eyes. "Exactly," Sarah replied, her heart swelling with pride. "I may be a waitress, but I work hard for us, and that makes me proud." Just then, one of the well-dressed men turned to Liam, his expression shifting from amusement to disdain. "What is a kid like you doing in a place like this?" he sneered, his voice meant to cut. Liam's cheeks flushed, and for a moment Sarah felt a wave of anger wash over her. "We were just enjoying breakfast," she said, trying to shield her son from the mocking tone. "Looks like your mom should find a better job." The man laughed, sharing a chuckle with his friends. The laughter rang in Sarah's ears like a cruel reminder of her struggles. The weight of their words pierced through her heart, but she steadied herself. "That is enough," she said firmly, meeting the man's gaze. "Everyone deserves respect, no matter their job." Liam looked up at her, admiration shining in his eyes. "You were right, Mom," he whispered. But as the laughter continued, Sarah felt the sting of shame creeping in. She had worked multiple jobs to provide for Liam after her husband left, and her pride in her work felt momentarily shattered. They had endured hardships, and now it felt like the world was mocking them for it. As they left the diner, Liam tugged at her hand. "Mom, I don't care what they said. I think you are the best waitress ever." Sarah smiled, her heart swelling with affection for her son. "Thank you, Liam. You make me proud every day." They headed to the park, the sun finally breaking through the clouds. As they reached the swings, Liam's laughter filled the air, a sound that melted away the bitterness from earlier. He swung higher and higher, his joy infectious. However, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling of inadequacy. She watched as other parents enjoyed picnics with their children, their laughter echoing through the park. She wished she could give Liam a life filled with luxurious experiences. "Mom, let us have a picnic," Liam shouted, jumping off the swing. "We can bring sandwiches." "Sure, buddy," she replied, forcing a smile. "But we'll have to keep it simple." Days turned into weeks, and the mocking incident faded into the background of their lives. Sarah continued working at the diner, pouring her heart into every plate she served. And while the sting of the man's words lingered, she found strength in her love for Liam. One Friday evening, a local event brought a crowd of people to Willow Creek, including a billionaire named Thomas Avery. He was known for his philanthropy, but also for his sharp wit and keen business sense. The townspeople buzzed with excitement, and Sarah felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps he would bring opportunities for change to their small town. As she worked that evening, she served Thomas at his table, along with a group of his business associates. He was gracious, thanking her with a warm smile. "This is a lovely place," he remarked, glancing around. "Thank you, sir. We do our best," Sarah replied, feeling a newfound sense of pride. While serving, she overheard snippets of conversation about investments and opportunities, but her focus remained on providing the best service she could. Thomas noticed her diligence, and later, he approached the counter while she was filling a coffee pot. "Your kindness makes a difference here," he said, a genuine smile lighting up his face. "What is your name?" "Sir," she replied, surprised by his interest. "Sarah, keep that spirit alive. The world needs more people like you." His words struck a chord deep within her, igniting a flicker of hope. As the night wore on, the laughter and chatter filled the diner, creating an atmosphere of warmth and camaraderie. But Sarah's heart felt heavy with the thoughts of her struggles. When she finished her shift, she found Liam waiting by the door, his face glowing with excitement. "Mom, can we see the fireworks tonight?" he asked, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. "Of course, buddy. Let us go find a good spot." As they made their way to the park, the night sky lit up with a brilliant display of colors. Liam squealed in delight as the fireworks danced above them, illuminating their faces with bursts of light. "Look, Mom, it is so beautiful," he exclaimed, pointing at the sky. "It is, isn't it?" Sarah replied, her heart swelling with love. In that moment, under the radiant sky, the burdens of the world seemed to fade away. Sarah realized that while she faced challenges each day, the love and joy she shared with Liam were worth every struggle. As the fireworks drew to a close, she felt a gentle tap on her shoulder. Turning around, she found Thomas Avery standing there, a warm smile on his face. "I hope I am not interrupting," he said. For a moment, Sarah was taken aback. "No, not at all," she replied, her heart racing. "I just wanted to say, you're doing a fantastic job raising your son. He is lucky to have you," Thomas said, glancing at Liam, who was still gazing at the sky in awe. "Thank you," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "That means a lot." With that simple gesture of kindness, Thomas ignited a spark of hope within Sarah. She realized that despite the challenges they faced, she had the strength to continue, fueled by the love she shared with her son and the belief that brighter days lay ahead. And so, under a sky filled with stars, the weight of the world felt just a little lighter as Sarah embraced the beauty of resilience, kindness, and the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child. As summer deepened in Willow Creek, Sarah found herself waking up to a cascade of sunlight filtering through her window, painting the room in soft golden hues. Each new day felt like the beginning of a small victory, and she held onto those moments tightly. "Mom, can we go to the park again today?" Liam's cheerful voice rang through the house, breaking her morning reverie. "Of course, but let us finish breakfast first," Sarah replied, her heart warmed by his enthusiasm. They shared laughter over pancakes, the sweetness of syrup mixing with their joy, making the remnants of the past few weeks feel distant. As they sat together, a sense of peace enveloped them. Sarah felt the heaviness of her heart lift slightly, even though the memories of the mocking diner still lingered. However, the warm kindness of Thomas Avery had ignited a hope that wouldn't too easily be extinguished. "Mom, remember when you said everyone has struggles?" Liam began, his face serious. "Do you think the billionaire has struggles too?" Sarah paused, considering his question. "I think everyone has something they're dealing with, honey. Sometimes it is just hidden behind smiles and success." Liam nodded thoughtfully. "I want to be like him someday, a nice billionaire who helps people," he said, eyes sparkling with ambition. Sarah chuckled lightly. "You do make a wonderful one, sweetheart. Always remember that kindness is just as important as any amount of money." With his innocent dreams lighting the corners of her heart, Sarah felt determined to nurture his spirit. They spent the day at the park, flying kites and enjoying the simple pleasures of life. As Liam's laughter echoed through the trees, it reminded Sarah that joy could flourish even in the most challenging environments. Days passed, and Sarah continued serving at Mom's place. Business was steady, and she found solace in her work. Each plate she served was a reminder of her strength, her resilience. One afternoon, as she tucked an errant strand of hair behind her ear, Sarah noticed Thomas Avery sitting at a booth with a young boy Liam's age. "Gonna take your order?" Sarah approached, her heart racing. "Absolutely," Thomas replied, his smile warm and genuine. "This is my son, Jamie. He has been looking forward to trying your famous blueberry pancakes." "Best in town," Sarah said, grinning. She felt a mixture of nerves and excitement as she took their order, feeling buoyed by Thomas's presence. When she returned with their food, Jimmy's eyes lit up as he took a bite. "Wow, these are amazing," he exclaimed. "See? I told you." Thomas chuckled, glancing up at Sarah. "You really have a gift, Sarah." She blushed at the compliment, the warmth spreading through her. "Thank you. It's this easy to cook when you love what you do." After serving them, she stepped back to the counter, where her boss, Marie, noticed the transformation in her demeanor. "You are glowing today, Sarah. What is going on?" "It's just nice to feel appreciated," she replied, her heart racing with renewed hope. As the days turned into weeks, Liam's bond with Jamie blossomed. They spent afternoons at the park running and playing, their laughter filling the air. Sarah felt a sense of community growing around her. Other parents began to open up, sharing their stories of struggle and perseverance. One evening, as Sarah was closing up the diner, Thomas approached her again. "I wanted to tell you, I am planning a charity event in town, and I'd love for you to be involved. We need honest, hardworking people like you." Her heart raced at the proposition. "Me, really?" "Absolutely. You have a gift for connecting with people, and I think your story could inspire others." Sarah felt the weight of disbelief settle in her chest. "I don't know if I am the right person." "Of course you are. You're already changing lives just by being you. It's that small, just share what you've overcome for the sake of others." With that, Sarah's heart swelled at the thought of sharing her journey. Perhaps this was a chance for her to inspire not just herself, but others who felt defeated. "Okay, I'll do it," she finally said, her voice steady with newfound determination. As the charity event approached, Sarah began preparing. She spent evenings writing down her thoughts, reflecting on her journey as a mother and as a worker. Liam, ever supportive, would often peek over her shoulder, asking questions. "Mom, are you scared?" he asked one night, his innocent brow furrowing. "Sometimes, yes," she replied honestly. "But I know that by sharing my story, I might help someone else, and helping others always feels good. You'll do great, Mom. I believe in you," Liam said, radiating his unwavering faith in her. The night of the charity event arrived, and the community buzzed with excitement. The large hall was filled with laughter, music, and the scent of delicious food. Sarah's heart raced as she stepped up to the podium, the spotlight illuminating her face. Taking a deep breath, she began to speak. "Hello everyone, my name is Sarah, and I am a single mom raising my son, Liam. Life hasn't always been easy for us." She shared candidly about her struggles, the pain of being mocked, and the challenges she faced as a waitress. She spoke of the love she felt for Liam, how he became her guiding light, pushing her to persevere. As she spoke, she saw faces in the crowd nodding, emotions reflected in their eyes. There was a shared connection in understanding the hardships of life. She continued, her voice gaining strength. "I learned that kindness and respect are powerful tools. They can lift someone else when they are down." With every word, she poured her heart out, and when she finished, the room erupted in applause. Tears streamed down her face, but they were tears of liberation. Afterward, she was enveloped in a warm embrace by Thomas. "You did it, you were incredible," he said, beaming with pride. "Thank you for believing in me," she replied, her heart swelling. As people approached her to share their stories, Sarah felt a sense of belonging envelop her. She understood that every struggle she faced had brought her here to this moment of connection and hope. Days turned into weeks after the event, and Sarah found herself accepting new opportunities. She started to lead workshops in the diner on kindness and resilience. People from all walks of life began to flock to Mom's place, creating a community centered around supporting one another. Liam thrived in this environment. He began volunteering at local shelters, inspired by his mother's strength, and Sarah beamed with pride at his budding compassion. One afternoon, as they walked home from the shelter, Liam turned to her. "Mom, I want to help more people. If I become a billionaire, I'll make sure everyone has what they need." Sarah couldn't help but laugh, her heart warmed. "And you'll always remember to be kind, right?" "Of course," Liam replied with assurance, his eyes sparkling with dreams. Together, they created a vision board filled with ideas of how they could give back to their community. Sarah felt a sense of purpose growing within her, ignited by the hope she had cultivated alongside her son. The journey wasn't always easy, there were days of doubt and fear. Yet, with each challenge came growth, and with growth came strength. Sarah realized that their struggles had woven a beautiful tapestry of resilience and love, illuminating the path ahead. One day, as they sat under the stars, Liam turned to her and said, "Mom, I am so glad we have each other." Sarah pulled him close, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Me too, buddy, we're a team." and as the stars twinkled above, they promised each other that no matter the challenges ahead, they would face them together, armed with kindness, resilience, and the unbreakable bond of love. In the heart of Willow Creek, Mom's place became more than just a diner. It was a sanctuary of hope, a testament to the strength of the human spirit, and a reminder that kindness could change the world, one meal and one heart at a time. As autumn brushed its golden fingers across Willow Creek, the air turned crisper, carrying the aroma of fallen leaves and the sweet scent of cinnamon from the local bakery. Sarah loved this time of year. It signified change, a chance to reflect and also to dream anew. One chilly morning, as she prepared for another day at Mom's place, Sarah found herself contemplating the charity event, a pivotal moment that had shifted the course of her life. It had not only brought her community together, but also reignited her own sense of self-worth. She stood in front of the kitchen mirror, smoothing her apron. "You've got this, Sarah," she whispered to herself, her resolve firm. "Mom, are you ready yet?" Liam called from the living room, his voice a buoyant note in the early morning stillness. "Just about. Can you help me with the door?" she replied, dashing the last of her nervousness away. "Of course," he chimed as he rushed to her side, his little hands gripping the door handle with determination. "I want to see if Mr. Avery comes by today." "Me too," Sarah admitted, her heart warming at the thought of Thomas's encouragement and kindness. He had been a beacon of hope, showing her that belief in oneself could spark change. As they walked to the diner, the sun painted the streets in warm shades of amber. The serenity of the morning felt like a promise. Sarah and Liam strolled hand in hand, chatting about their plans for the day. "After school, can we help at the shelter again? I want to do more," Liam said, his eyes shining with the eagerness to make a difference. "Absolutely. We'll make sandwiches and hand out warm clothes," Sarah replied, her heart swelling with pride for her son. Entering Mom's place, they were welcomed by the familiar clanging of dishes, the chatter of regulars, and the comforting smell of coffee brewing. "Morning, Sarah." "Morning, Liam." Marie, her boss, greeted them with a wide smile. "You both ready for another busy day?" "Always," Liam exclaimed, bounding toward the counter. "Good to see you so energetic. You remind me of a squirrel," Marie teased. Liam giggled, and Sarah felt her spirit lift. The day unfolded like a well-rehearsed dance, each customer bringing stories and laughter. But as the sun began to sink, a familiar figure walked through the door. Thomas Avery. "Good evening, everyone," he called out as he made his way to the counter. "Mr. Avery," Liam shouted, racing to greet him. "Are you here for breakfast or dinner?" Thomas chuckled, kneeling to meet Liam's eyes. "I am here for a little bit of both, I think, but mostly, I just wanted to see how you two are doing." Sarah's heart warmed at the sight of her son's excitement. "We good, busy as always," she replied, her smile genuine. Thomas leaned in closer. "I've been thinking about your workshops, Sarah. You've got a real gift for connecting with people. Have you thought about expanding them?" "I have, actually," she admitted, her voice tinged with hesitation. "But I am not sure how to reach more people." "Sometimes it starts with just saying yes," Thomas encouraged. "Maybe you could hold them at the community center. I can help you organize an event." Sarah's heart raced at the thought. "You do that for me?" "Of course, the world needs more voices like yours," he said, smiling warmly. In that moment, Sarah's doubts began to dissipate. "All right, let us do it," she agreed, a burst of determination igniting within her. As they discussed plans, Liam chimed in, "Can I help too? I want to tell kids how they can help others." Sarah's heart melted at her son's enthusiasm. "We can make it a family affair," she replied, her eyes sparkling with pride. Weeks passed as Sarah and Liam prepared for the upcoming workshop. They spent evenings brainstorming ideas, filling notepads with sketches and dreams. The excitement in their small home was palpable, and even Liam's friends began to get involved, eager to contribute to the cause. As the workshop day approached, nerves tangled in the pit of Sarah's stomach. "What if nobody comes?" she confessed one evening, her voice shaking slightly. "Mom, look at how many people came to hear you at the charity event. You inspire them." Liam reassured her, squeezing her hand tightly. "You're right, buddy. I just need to remember that it's not about the numbers. It is about sharing our stories," she said, reveling in his unwavering belief. The day of the workshop dawned bright and crisp, the golden leaves swirling in the gentle breeze. Sarah stood outside the community center, her heart racing as she watched families trickle in, smiles gracing their faces. "Mom, look, they're coming!" Liam shouted, bursting with excitement. Sarah took a deep breath, steeling her resolve. As the last of the attendees settled in, she stepped up to the podium, her heart pounding. Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here today. I am Sarah and this is my son, Liam. The crowd smiled and she felt a wave of warmth wash over her. I want to share a bit about kindness and resilience. There were times in my life when I felt invisible, but it was the kindness of others that helped me rise, she began, her voice steady. As she spoke, she saw nodding heads and glistening eyes. She shared her story, the struggles of being a single mom, the mockery she faced, and the powerful love she felt for Liam. She encouraged everyone to find ways they could help their community, emphasizing that small acts could lead to monumental change. When she finished, the room erupted in applause. "Thank you," she said, her heart swelling. She scanned the crowd, locking eyes with Liam, who beamed with pride. Afterward, people approached her, sharing their stories and ideas. "Your journey touched my heart," one woman said, tears glistening in her eyes. "Thank you for sharing and for inspiring us." The conversations unfolded like a tapestry, weaving connections that transcended backgrounds and experiences. Sarah felt a sense of belonging that she had yearned for all her life. As the event wound down, Thomas stepped forward. "You did it, Sarah, I knew you could," he said, enveloping her in a warm embrace. "Thank you for believing in me," she replied, feeling the warmth of encouragement radiate through her. "Let us keep this momentum going. This community needs you," he added, his eyes shining with sincerity. As the days turned into weeks, Sarah's workshops flourished, drawing in more families eager to learn about kindness and resilience. It became a safe space for sharing, where laughter mingled with tears and hope danced in the air. Liam thrived in this environment, his spirit ignited by the stories they encountered. He began advocating for local causes at school, rallying his friends to help organize food drives and charity events. "Mom, look at the impact we're making," Liam exclaimed one afternoon, excitement bubbling over as he showed her a chart of their efforts. "I am so proud of you, sweetheart, you were a little leader," Sarah replied, her heart swelling with pride. Their bond grew deeper, woven together by their shared mission to spread kindness. Late nights were filled with laughter and planning, creating an unbreakable rhythm of love and purpose. One day, as they prepared to leave for yet another community outreach, Sarah noticed a flyer on the kitchen counter. It was an advertisement for a local awards ceremony recognizing everyday heroes. "Mom, you should nominate yourself," Liam exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with mischief. "I don't think I am a hero, honey," Sarah replied, smiling softly. "But you're helping people feel less alone. That is heroic," he insisted, his conviction unwavering. With her son's words echoing in her mind, Sarah finally took the leap. She filled out the nomination form, her heart racing as she clicked submit. Weeks later, the ceremony arrived, and Sarah stood nervously among a gathering of resilient individuals who had dedicated their lives to serving others. As her name was called, she approached the stage shaking with a mix of nerves and excitement. "I am truly honored," she began, looking out at the sea of faces. "What I've learned is that kindness can create a ripple effect. It starts small, but it grows." The applause that followed filled her with warmth, but it was Liam's cheering that resonated deepest in her heart. Later that evening, as they walked home under a starless sky, Liam turned to her. "Mom, you really are a hero," he said, his voice serious. Sarah smiled, wrapping her arm around him. "I am just a mom trying to do my best, but you, my love, inspire me every day." In that moment, Sarah realized that they had not only changed lives but had transformed their own. They became a testament to the beauty of resilience and the extraordinary power of kindness. As they gazed up at the twinkling stars, Sarah felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. They had faced challenges that tested their spirits, but through it all, they had forged a bond that no amount of. As the seasons shifted in Willow Creek, the vibrant hues of autumn painted the town in warm shades of orange and gold. Sarah reveled in the beauty surrounding her, but the chill in the air served as a reminder that it was time to prepare for the upcoming winter months. The clock atop Mom's place chimed, signaling the end of her shift. She wiped down the counter, her heart content from another fulfilling day. "Mom?" Liam's voice echoed through the diner, his sneakers squeaking as he bounded toward her. His cheeks were flushed with excitement. "Can we get pumpkins for Halloween?" Sarah chuckled, the thought of their little family tradition warming her heart. "Of course, let us pick out the biggest ones we can find." "Awesome," Liam exclaimed, bouncing on his toes. "Can we carve them too? I want mine to be the scariest." "Scariest? How about the most creative?" she suggested, raising an eyebrow playfully. "Let us see what you can come up with." As they stepped outside, the crisp air filled their lungs. The sun hung low, casting an amber glow over the streets, and the townspeople greeted them with smiles and warm nods. It felt like a small community wrapped in a blanket of kindness, each interaction reinforcing the belief that they were all in this together. "Mom, do you think we can help the shelter again this weekend?" Liam asked as they walked down the sidewalk, his small hand clasped tightly in hers. "Absolutely, buddy. It's important to give back," she replied, her voice steady. "And it's a great way to share our blessings with those who need it most." Liam's eyes sparkled. "Maybe we can make a Halloween-themed treat for the kids." Sarah's heart swelled with pride. "That is a fantastic idea. Let us make pumpkin cookies." As they arrived at the local pumpkin patch, its vibrant orange colors beckoned them. Laughter filled the air as families roamed the fields, searching for a perfect pumpkin. Liam dashed ahead, his enthusiasm contagious. "Look at this one, Mom," he called, gesturing toward a gnarled pumpkin nestled among the vines. "It is so funny looking." Sarah laughed, squatting down to inspect it. "It is unique, just like you, perfect for scary carving." After selecting their pumpkins, they headed home to begin their Halloween activities. The kitchen became a whirlwind of flour, sugar, and laughter as they baked cookies, sharing stories and dreams. "Mom, I want to be a superhero this year. What do you think?" Liam asked, his voice bubbling over with energy. "A superhero? I love it. You could save the day and spread kindness everywhere," she replied, rolling out dough with a smile. "I'll save you from any bad guys," he declared, puffing out his chest in mock bravado. They continued their baking, and as they shared silly jokes, Sarah felt the burdens of her past slip away, if only for a moment. Her heart brimmed with gratitude for the present, for the laughter they shared, and for the dreams they nurtured. As Halloween approached, excitement filled the air. The shelves at Mom's place were decorated with cobwebs and pumpkins, and patrons often commented on the warmth radiating from the diner. It had become a haven for the community, where stories were shared and laughter echoed like a sweet melody. One evening, while Sarah prepared for the dinner rush, Marie approached her, a hint of concern in her eyes. "Sarah, have you thought about the winter season? It's going to be a tough one for many families." Sarah nodded, her heart heavy. "I know. I've been thinking about how we can help. Maybe we can organize a food drive again." That's a fantastic idea," Marie said, her face lighting up. "Let us put a plan together. The community counts on you, you know." As they brainstormed ideas, Sarah felt a sense of purpose rejuvenating her spirit. This was not just about serving food, it was about sharing love and compassion in a world that often felt overwhelming. "Mom, can I help with the food drive?" Liam's eager voice broke through her thoughts, his eyes wide with excitement. "Of course, you can be our little ambassador," she replied, throwing her arms around him. "Together we can make a difference." "Yay," he cheered, bouncing with joy. "We can tell everyone at school." As the days passed, Sarah and Liam set to work on their project. They created colorful flyers, encouraging the community to donate non-perishable food items. The response was heartwarming. People rallied around the cause, filling the diner with boxes of canned goods and holiday treats. But the true magic happened when Sarah invited families to come together, sharing meals and stories at the diner. Each evening, as the sun set and the lights twinkled, Mom's place transformed into a gathering spot for those in need. "Thank you for doing this, Sarah," one mother said, her voice thick with emotion as she accepted a warm meal for her children. "I don't know what we would do without you." "It is a community effort," Sarah replied, her heart swelling with pride. "We all lift each other up during tough times." As winter approached, the warmth of their shared compassion spread through Willow Creek, igniting hope like never before. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, light could be found in the kindness of others. One day, while sorting through donations, Sarah stumbled upon a letter tucked inside a box. It was from a young girl who had been helped by the Diner's initiative, expressing her gratitude for the kindness shown to her family. Tears filled Sarah's eyes as she read the heartfelt words. "Mom, are you okay?" Liam asked, noticing the emotion on her face. "Yeah, buddy, I am just so proud of what we're doing. It is inspiring to see how our little efforts are helping others," she replied, wiping her eyes. "Can we read it together?" Liam asked, pulling the letter closer. "Of course," Sarah smiled, pulling him into her embrace as they read the letter aloud. It was a moment of connection, a reminder of the beauty that came from their work. As the holidays approached, Sarah felt a familiar tug of anxiety. The weight of expectations was heavy, but she resolved to embrace the season with her usual spirit. She decided to host a holiday party at the diner, inviting everyone in the community to share food, laughter, and warmth. The evening of the party arrived, and the diner overflowed with families, smiles lighting up every face. Sarah stood behind the counter, her heart swelling as she watched Liam darting around, handing out cookies and chatting with guests. "Mom, look, everyone is having so much fun," he exclaimed, his eyes glimmering with joy. "I see it, Liam. You've done such a wonderful job," Sarah replied, her heart filled with pride. As the night wore on, laughter and music filled the air. Sarah noticed a woman sitting alone at a table, her eyes downcast. Gathering her courage, she approached the woman, a familiar feeling of compassion washing over her. "Hi there, how are you doing tonight?" Sarah asked gently, her voice warm. The woman looked up, surprise etched on her face. "I am okay, just a bit overwhelmed," she admitted, her voice trembling. "Would you like to join us?" Sarah offered, motioning toward a nearby table filled with laughter. "We'd love to have you." Tears glistened in the woman's eyes. "Thank you, I just didn't want to intrude." "You're not intruding at all," Sarah reassured her. "We're all friends here, come on." As the woman joined them, Sarah felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. She realized that her journey had come full circle. The struggle she faced had only deepened her ability to empathize with others, fostering a sense of community that would uplift even the heaviest of hearts. Later that evening, as the party wound down, Thomas Avery entered the diner, a warm smile spreading across his face. "Sarah, that looks incredible in here," he exclaimed, surveying the joyful scene. "Thank you, Thomas. I couldn't have done it without the community and Liam," she replied, gesturing toward her son, who was busy chatting with new friends. "I've been hearing wonderful things about your work. You've created a beautiful space for connection," he said, genuine admiration lighting up his eyes. "I believe in the power of kindness," she said, her voice steady. "It's amazing how a little love can uplift so many." "Absolutely. You're an inspiration to us all," Thomas said, his tone sincere. "I'd like to support your efforts. We need more initiatives like this." "Are you sure?" Sarah asked, her heart racing with excitement and disbelief. "Of course, we can plan a larger event together, a community gala that brings in more resources and awareness," he suggested, his eyes sparkling with possibility. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Sarah nodded. "That would mean the world to me, thank you." As the new year approached, Sarah stood in the diner, reflecting on the challenges they had faced and the strength they had discovered within themselves. With Liam by her side, she felt an unwavering sense of hope. "Mom, this year is going to be amazing," Liam proclaimed, bouncing on his heels. "I believe that too, sweetheart," she smiled,